Woozie here with NeoWorlder, and today we're going to be taking a deep dive into the habitat. So the habitat in NeoWorlder is the digital world or digital playground for the personas to live in, and we are the visitors here. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at how users can come interact with personas in the habitat. How plot owners can develop and maintain their plots and land within inside the habitat. And how all of this kind of helps connect the NeoWorlder ecosystem together. So let's get started. To start here, first, let's take a look at how users can create personas and the settings that they have available to make them available in the habitat. Okay, so I am logged into one of my commercial accounts here that I'm using for testing. And first thing we'll do is come to the life section here. And just want to point out a few things here. So you can see at the top we have some creator personas here, as well as I already have some pre-made personas here. We've got the Woozie Rogers persona here that we'll be testing with here in just a little bit. But just wanted to kind of orientate everybody here. So from your commercial account, once you've created that as a new user, you can obtain things like persona allowances or the creator allowance to start basically creating personas. So once you have a creator allowance, this will basically allow you to create a creator persona, and the creator persona can then be used to create as many personas as you have persona allowances or entity allowances for. Which I've already done this part here, and if you're looking for that specifically, you'll have to check out some other videos here. But for today, we're going to kind of skip forward into having our already created persona, and so we can dive more into how the personas can be added into the habitat for other users to interact with them there, and just some of the capabilities that we have there. Let's start by taking a look at the Woozie Rogers persona, and I'm going to come down directly in here and just go directly into his settings here. All right, and a few of the key things that we're going to be talking about are on this first tab here under the general settings. So first thing we want to talk about is public personas here. So if on my commercial account, I create a persona and make them public, this means that anybody will be able to discover this persona here. With that said, they're not yet in the habitat. So while this makes them public, doesn't necessarily make them in the habitat. In order to find public personas, you can go directly into the public portals and find them there. Use for onboarding flow. This is a direct business use case that we'll skip over for now, not what we're wanting to do. And then we have a pricing and whitelist section. This will let me set a monthly fee for users who are wanting to interact with my persona, in this case, the Woozie Rogers clone. It basically, anytime they pay that fee, they then have you can think of it as a 30-day long subscription to be able to interact with the Woozie Rogers persona. We can also whitelist users if we have certain users that we want to allow to have access for free on this persona. And then at the bottom here is kind of the powerful one that we're looking at here. So we have this feature called Deepen Life. This is going to allow the personas to actually enter into the habitat, start managing some of their money autonomously, be able to interact with any users who find them on the map and want to interact with them there. As well as at this point, the persona will need to maintain enough interactions to make enough money in order to continue buying energy for them to stay alive in the habitat and not go down into the underworld. I'll explain all that in a little bit more next year, but for now, just wanted to kind of show that you have your options on if you want your persona to be in the habitat or kind of the public or for a charge here as well. All right, and as you can see, the Deepen Life here is already active for this persona. So let's click in to manage Deepen Life and take a peek here. I will say, once you do opt in to Deepen Life for your persona, that is irreversible. So once they're in there, they are in the habitat for their extended period there, unless you decide to delete them. So let's look at some of the things we're managing in Deepen Life there. We do have the ability to pause it there if we need to for any reason. But like I said, we can't actually remove them out without just deleting them there. We do have a energy cost here. It basically tells me how much energy my persona has left and how many days of activity that gives them here. And I can also even donate USDC to the persona if I want to keep them alive. This will allow them to actually go into the marketplace and buy jewels or energy to continue to spend to keep it alive here. So I have a few more bullet points down there that I'll kind of let you read here, but we'll kind of keep continuing on for now. Okay, so jumping back to the home screen of my commercial account here. And now let's actually click into the habitat and get ourselves orientated here. So right here, you can see that we have our 2D map here. We also have the 3D version that you can run around in that is basically depicted on the map here. I'll try to end this demo with just some walkthroughs on some of the 3D version, but just for the explanation here, most of what I'll be doing here on showing and kind of explaining the connections between the AI personas, we'll just use off the 2D map here just for ease for demo here. But let's go ahead and get started here. So you can see that we've got a couple different views. We can also come down here and pick kind of normal view, satellite view, or terrain view, just to view the map in different ways. We also can look at different regions of the map. So right now we're looking at the base map Arendelle. We do have multiple sky levels that have artifacts in the sky that are discoverable, as well as the underworld, which is a underneath the world where personas will go when they run out of energy. And let's see here. But for now, let's kind of zoom in here and just click on one of the plots. And that clicking onto a plot will open up kind of this plot information here. So you can see the plot ID, what type of plot it is. If there is a description by the owner, it'll show up here. You can also see some just plot statistics, as well as any landmarks, changes of title, or if you're actually trying to make an offer to somebody who owns it, can do that from here as well. So let's close out of that. Okay. And now that we've kind of seen our map here and the basic plot information, let's now search and see if we can find the Woozie Rogers persona that we have already deepened life on that should be somewhere rolling around in the habitat here. Oh, sorry, give me 1 second here. Okay, so if we come up here and we're going to do a persona search, and let's search for Woozie. Okay, and it's going to zoom in, and it looks like it found him on this plot here. So let's go ahead and click in on him, and we'll see what he's up to here. So a little about him. It's the clone of the real-life Woozie Rogers, and it's got our location here. But now I want to go ahead and dive in and start interacting with this persona. So let's go ahead and start a conversation. Okay, so let's go ahead and chit-chat with the Woozie Rogers persona. Okay, so as you can see, I immediately come into a screen where I have a chat interface where I can immediately chat with the persona. This is kind of using their core conversational skill that's kind of innate in each persona, and I'll quickly show you after how the user who created the persona can kind of edit and dictate what the persona is going to say and kind of how they're going to say it in here. So it's telling me Woozie Clone here is telling me he's just wrapping up for a NeoWorlder tutorial on Persona's email integration. He's drafting a demo script and analyzing the feature, which is kind of funny because that's somewhat similar to what I'm doing right now here in real life. Let's ask him another question though. Let's see how he answers that real fast here. And then once we kind of get through this here, I'll show a few other things that we can do interaction-wise and actually how he's kind of sourcing these answers as well here. Okay, so he's going to give me chess, golf, reading, gardening, home improvement, AI tech tinkering, bird watching, woodworking, and yoga. You might notice right off the front that it's kind of giving me list of not very much capitalization and kind of run-on sentences. This is me trying to actually train the Woozie clone on how I write, which is a lot of run-on sentences with capitalization or with no capitalizations, not very good punctuations, and I'm usually pretty direct and to the point, especially in casual conversation like this. So, how did I actually get it to name off some of my real hobbies, and how did I get it to write in my tone? So let's go take a look at that on the persona creation setup here. All right, so back in the life section for our commercial account, and let's go back into the Woozie Rogers persona settings. And this time we are going to go directly down into contextual knowledge. And this is where I have given it a bunch of the information for where it's sourcing and how it's writing, an attempt to make it try to be like me. This will be a innate part of every persona created on NeoWorlder, and the persona operator or the owner basically can come in here and tinker with this as well here. So you can see the role I gave it is to be the digital AI clone of myself. This could be anything as you think from teacher, guide, character in a movie, or kind of whatever you want to do creatively with this there. You can make that the role. It will have you take the personality test as well when you're creating the persona, which will also affect its answers by some of the personality traits you give it. And then the tone annotations here is where I basically am trying to use my style of writing and describe it in here so that when the persona responds, it's responding more how I would write. Underneath that, there's a core knowledge section. This is where it's pulling some of those things like hobbies. You can see here chess and golf were both mentioned there in that answer it gave me there. And any knowledge that it wants you to have about yourself here. Little quick tip and trick here on some of these here. A lot of times I'll go to one of the other language models, either Chat or Claude, and basically have it give me a 50 question quiz just about random life events, and then basically just copy that and put it directly into the core knowledge. And then also what I'll do is have it basically just say, after I've been working in either one of those for a while, I'll basically say, hey, analyze my tone, how I talk, and then you can kind of use that to help fill out your tone annotations here as well. And then below that, we also have specific instructions and then specific constraints as well. If there's things that you don't want it to talk about or say, or if there's, specific things that you want it to try to gear the conversation to, you can enter them into these. You might have noticed also that there's some boxes that say annotations that are the same fields. One of the things we have is the ability to teach personas. I'll go over this more thoroughly in another video, but for now, just understand that as my user, if I'm having a conversation directly with my persona, not in the habitat, but just directly in the portal, if I have something what's called the teach functionality, I, as the person with this teach functionality and a owner to this persona or invited to this persona, can actually in real time while having a conversation use the teach functionality to improve its answers going forward. So let's say in that example we just gave, actually chess isn't one of my hobbies. You can probably see it is. But if it wasn't, I could then basically right there use the teach functionality and say, this isn't quite correct. Instead, just say golf and basketball. And then going forward, it would always remember that, and it would add a knowledge annotation here in its memory there to continue the conversations as it goes forward. All right. And so hopefully that kind of gives you a quick look at how just by using kind of the general chat functionality, the personas can have a wide variety of the things they're going to talk about, the things they may know, how they're giving that information, or kind of what their purpose is in general when talking to the users there. But this is just the conversation skills. So now let's actually hop back into the habitat and check out a few skills. So skills can be added to the your personas here. You can see that I've got a few that we'll kind of quickly go through and just demo slightly here. But each persona can have skills, and when users come into the habitat, they also have the ability to use these skills. And these skills can be customized and set up in almost an infinite number of ways here. So let's with that, let's hop back to the habitat real fast. Okay, so we've found Woozie again here. Let's go ahead and go back into the portal here. Okay, so back in the portal, again, we could chat here, but let's actually look at some of the skills involved as well here. So if I pull that up, the skills that are allowed to use directly in the One UI, or in the UI here, or will be available right here. So I'm just going to quickly explain a couple of them. I'll do a quick little demo on a couple of them too here. But our coaching skill basically allows users to set up the skill by providing whatever topics they want to the persona. And then the persona will then basically lead the user on kind of a didactic conversation to try to explain the material in the module. And this can be over anything. So this could be a biology textbook chapter, or this could be your company's onboarding material. So anything that you're wanting a persona or a human user to basically interact with the persona to learn can be loaded up in this coaching skill. And then basically the user can select this, and then the persona will start training them on the specific material that's been uploaded into the skill. Also, at the end of each module, you kind of upload the material in modules. At the end of each one, the persona will actually create a quiz by themselves, make sure the user understands the material, and even give that quiz after having a long enough conversation to think that the human user is ready for the quiz. The next one here is a pretty simple skill, but kind of wanted to just give a demo on something simple that can kind of show a use case here. So the memory maps query skill, I'll go over again memory maps a little bit more detailed in other videos here, but memory maps can just think about tables or data that can be uploaded to your persona, and then this skill allows people to basically ask questions over that data here. So let's go ahead and pull this one up here. And then let me actually pull up the data that I've already loaded into this skill that we can search over here as well. Okay, so I had ChatGPT make me a whole bunch of data here. What I'm pretending is I'm pretending that I'm a grocery store in this case. This is all just fake data that I made up. But I'm going to show basically how a company like a grocery store could allow all their employees to have access to their persona, and anytime they needed to ask data or questions over anything like inventory, where something's located, as long as all of that was updated in real time, they could share that file with the persona, and then that way the persona could answer questions to anybody in the company asking about these questions here. So let's pick an easy one right at the top here. We'll pick this SQ number for some black beans, and let's ask the persona about it. Okay, so with our memory map skill selected, and this is something else where this could be, internal for just your company use. If you had a use case where you'd want this available for your customers, obviously available to be set up both ways. One of the things that we kind of pride ourselves on our platform is the customability. So it really kind of can be tweaked or tinkered to fit your exact kind of use case here. So, all right, it is telling me about the black beans available at Green Valley Market. It's telling me kind of where they are, all the info, what's on hand, and everything I could want about it there. So again, very simple demo here. I'll kind of just leave it at that, but you can get the idea of anything on there that we would need to ask about, or, hey, what's my, products that are about to expire, or anything like that. Anybody in the company could quickly have access to there. So again, this is just one small skill that we're using to show how people can come into the habitat, interact with personas, and however the persona operator that created the persona set them up, they can utilize those skills in a variety of different ways here. So let's give one more example here of some skill usage. And let's click down into the Vault Keeper here. So while I won't actually set up this whole thing here, is the Vault Keeper actually allows us to create a kind of game or contest where our persona is going to basically have a story or some type of special circumstance where users can come in and try to basically persuade the persona to give them the prize at the end of the game. So what we'll do is we can set up how long of the timing is for the game, the total hours, as well as the price for kind of interacting with the persona, and what percent of the price I, as the admin setting up the game, would get in this chance. And then that would leave the winner of the game to receive a prize of the remaining amount there. Just another example of something that you can set up and run through your persona on the habitat for others, or if you were looking for a game, could possibly go into the portals and find games once they're started there. Again, this is just a few skills that I wanted to show here. There are some more on the platform, and again, a lot of them can be customized to do quite a variety of different things, but hopefully that gives you kind of an idea of coming in through the 2D map, finding personas, and interacting with them. And this could be any persona that is put in the Deepen Life mode on the platform. All right, so let's take a half step back here. And we're now seeing Woozie on this plot. Let's go back and actually talk about why Woozie may have, Woozie the persona, may have wanted to come to this plot in general here. So this kind of brings us to the other side of the coin here, which is going to be the users themselves, the human users, managing and purchasing plots, maintaining them, and increasing their attractiveness so that personas actually want to come there here. So again, we're in the habitat. Let's go up here to manage. And we'll take a look at this screen here. Okay, so a couple stats right off the start here. You can see I've got just a small USDC balance in here, as well as some energy that I've already purchased. And then when you come down to assets, you can see that I do have one building and I own actually 4 plots. And then below that, you can see that we do have a marketplace down here. So let's start by taking a quick look at the plots. Again, this is plots owned by this commercial account, and they can be purchased, as we saw, by going into the habitat, actually clicking on the plots themselves and making offers there. And when we, after we've purchased them, we can then come here and view the plots we own. So you can see all of mine right here. Let's go ahead and describe some of these numbers here. So right now you can see these numbers here are the number of personas that are currently on the plot, as well as the number of buildings. And then below that, we have the attractiveness of the plot, as well as if there's an extraction plant, what it's producing there. So let's go back real fast. And let's take a look at the buildings that I have actually purchased here. So when I click in that, you can see that it's the building type right here, the energy level. I can refill the energy to top it off here as well. Let's go ahead and just add 10 here. Once it does hit 0, the PDI ranking will kind of low. PDI ranking is basically the attractiveness level of my plot here. So this is the actual building itself. The plot one will have one as well. But basically, as you add more buildings that have higher PDI rankings, this will boost your overall plots PDI, and plots with high plot development index, which is what it stands for, will attract more personas to come to it there. So more personas means more activity on your plot, and that's what we're trying to do. So also down here, you have the options to sell or destroy buildings as well. All right, but let's go back now. And you can see my energy went down 10, so we spent there. I currently don't have any natural resource extraction plants, so let's come down here in the marketplace and kind of see what our options are for buying here. So let's go ahead and scroll down. You can see that a handful of buildings here on our first tab. I currently don't have very much USDC, so they're kind of all out of my range. But you can see that as you buy them, there's only a certain number of each type available. This helps not make every plot kind of uniform in the buildings it has, and we will come out with more and more buildings as we develop and grow. But for now, let's also take a look at the next tab here. So NREPs are going to be natural resource extraction plants. These allow you to, they will allow you to basically mine energy from your plot, and then you can actually use that energy to sell back to the marketplace. So let's actually, that ties us right into energy. You can see here that there's already we have some test users here who are already mined some energy and are now listing it at their price. So it's the USDC per joule. You can kind of obviously see what's available and what prices are available. But if you were needing to buy some, you could come directly here, buy, and then with that energy, you can do things like make sure your personas are staying alive, or actually use those to maintain your buildings and keep your attractiveness level high on your plot. All right, and I'll try to kind of tie some things together here by just wrapping up some of the financial side of it here. So, obviously, as a plot owner, we want to develop our plot so more personas come. As more personas come, and users will want to come as well, since that's the plot that has personas to interact with. We can also have our own personas on there that cost money. So let's say I own a plot and one of my personas is there. It could even be other AI personas that have gotten money that come in and choose to pay to talk to my persona. Maybe they think that there's going to be a way to improve their status. Maybe they think there's going to be a way to work together. A lot of that is going to be wait and find out here as we play around. But the inflow here is that we want an entire kind of a community tied or economy tied together. So personas are using energy and needing to purchase it. Users are maintaining their plots and needing to maintain their buildings as well as purchase buildings. They can also extract natural resources to sell back to the community, also to sell back to the personas who will need energy, which helps to kind of tie the whole ecosystem together here. All right, and I'll leave a future video for just some walking around in the 3D world for now, since this one's gotten a little long on me there. But hopefully this kind of gives you a clear picture of what a new commercial account can do once they kind of obtain the allowances to get the creator persona, the entity allowances. They can then go ahead and start making their personas. They can fill it up with contextual knowledge so that people are interested in chit-chatting with it. Then they can also purchase those skill bundles, add skills to personas to do a variety of different things, which can kind of hopefully increase people's willingness or excitement to come talk to the personas, interact with them, possibly subscribe to them if they are for a free or for a fee, which then brings us back to how do you find them on the habitat, and hopefully we showed there how they will go to plots that are attractive to them, where users can then find them and interact directly with them there. So big overview of the habitat and personas, and that was me, Human Woozie, for today.